Metal TALLÁN.
Ok, queridos amigos de Metal Tallán, estamos muy entusiasmados el día de hoy porque vamos a entrevistar a una banda bien interesante, Brainwasher. Okay, my friends, we are so excited this day because we are going to talk with our friends of Brainwashers. Hello, my friend, how are you?
Good. I'm fine.
What's the meaning of the name? What is the meaning that you give to the name of the band?
Well, when we started the band and needed a name, we thought about first of all, it's hard to find a name that's not already taken. And we wanted something maybe sort of antagonistic, sort of like Terrorizer or Napalm Death. Like those are the same sort of with negative implications to it. And I did some quick searching on the internet, and Brainwasher seemed to not have been taken, at least not by this band with this kind of sound. Are you muted?
I think you are muted, yes.
Excuse me. Do you think that in the recent days, with the appearing of more neo-Nazis and other extreme people, manifestation about that. Do you think today are more brainwasher?
Possibly. I mean, in my opinion, I mean, since it's sort of something I think about quite a bit, and we have a lot of more extreme right wingers in Sweden, even in like government and such now. Like with the internet and such, the promise was that we will be more connected. We will understand each other more. We can connect with people all over the world. We can share knowledge and such. And it sort of will. It came with some sort of slight promise of peace and understanding, and it seems to have sort of done the opposite. I mean, it can be used for good as well, but today it's a lot of like just look at like American media, like from the outside, and you see some of the things they say that like it seems completely disconnected from reality. And I mean, sure, it happens here too. Some stuff that's just factually wrong and stuff, but it seems like manipulation is everywhere, and of course it's always been, but now it's like turned up another level. And you can also see like other perspectives that explains why how extremely fucked up these things are. So while you can, if you try, you can sort of see more of reality maybe, but at the same time that makes sort of the propaganda machine work harder too.
Is Brainwasher band talking about this topic in your
So
lyrics?
yeah, more obvious now.
Let me share. Let me share, please, a recently video from Sweden about this topic. Excuse me, I'm going to share my screen. Please. Oh, yes, here. It means the situation, this conflict situation is over the world. The United States, Europe, South America. Recently, Nepal Dead played in a recent concert. Barney Greenway says in the middle of the concert a message against the neo-Nazis because in Chile recently was elected uh, a president from this ideology. Why do you think? What do you think? There are more people with these thoughts. You talk about disinformation.
Yeah, and I think like just the fact, like the very fact that you shared something that's recorded in Sweden. I mean, the former friend of mine I had from the US, he was like apparently got really deep into conspiracies and stuff. And he shared something like I didn't care much for it, but suddenly he shared like, oh, this is going on in Sweden. It's now Sharia law, and like, excuse me, I live here. No, it's not. And he's like, yo, but it is, look at this video, and this video of signs that are not in Swedish, so it's not here. And he's like, oh, but look at this, my source is this. And I'm like, no, but I'm telling you, I live here. Like, you believe something that's not true. And he was so determined that, oh, no, it's just me. I have been manipulated by the state and the government, and how, like,
It's
so,
not usual there.
no, like, I mean, sure, there are immigrants here and such, but it's like, and the fact that, like, the problems that might be sort of related to immigration, in my opinion, is a lot more to do with the system. Like, oh, let's put all of these people in this secluded area, and let's like not have them included into society, and then we're going to complain about how they don't speak Swedish around each other. Like, if you were put in another country, like you were more or less forced to move to, and you find another person who speaks the same language as you do, you will speak with that person. But if the other people around you start to complain, oh, you shouldn't speak that language that you speak to the only person you can communicate with, like, you will, of course, you will talk to the people you can communicate with. But sort of more back to your topic, like, a lot of the sort of unrest that arises, and there will always be people around who are looking to take power, who will use whatever unrest there is, if it's the economy or if it's the job insecurity or fucking anything, and they will say, oh, we have a quick solution that will fix everything. Let's just, you see all these people that are not sort of, has nothing to do with your life, it's all their problem, let's just fuck them and kick them out, and it will solve everything. And they know that they will probably never even be able to come to the point of kicking them out, so they don't have to deliver on the promise. They just have to, like, stoke the fire every now and then and say, hello, it's their problem, it's like it's their fault, and then it will rile the masses, and they will get more votes again in the next election. So it's always the promise of a quick solution to a more complicated problem that will repeat and repeat and repeat, because humanity never learns, apparently.
A brainwasher.
So
A brainwasher.
yeah.
It is a brainwash. A deep brainwash.
Yes.
Oh, in fact, you are talking about these topics again. These topics is an act of there are a lot of people that don't think like this person in this video, and we have a lot of hope that the things are going to change. But about at these topics, brainwasher, talk about what other topics?
Like what topics we have, like for our music, or
Make us great, I am dead.
Politicians,
or
maybe?
is
Yeah,
What are
I
your
think
what are your
what,
influence?
what we write about and
oh yeah, I mean
Yeah, when
a
you
lot
write
of it
your lyrics.
is sort of yeah. I mean some on this album, me and the vocalist Henrik sort of shared half and half of writing the lyrics, and mine, I mean, the more specific ones, like the song Ivory Tower, is about a building near our rehearsal room. That is a new building, which is the tallest one in Sweden. And what they did is they just sort of kicked out a lot of the poor and the culture around there. Like our favorite venue had to close down because they got kicked out, because a lot of rich people are gonna move in here now, so you need to get lost, like stuff like that, and sort of the like how it's the gentrification of our city, and others are more broad, like how, in my opinion, some of the older generations, my parents and maybe even their parents, had it pretty well, and had sort of the future ahead of them, and made pretty, like if they made choices well enough, they got a lot of money and savings and stuff, and suddenly they didn't want to pay as much tax, so they voted in the people who said, oh, we'll cut your taxes, and like don't look so close when we mess up the system for future generations. And suddenly I grew up and they say like, oh, you can pick whatever you want to be, you have the future ahead of you, and then you get an education, and suddenly like, oh no, you can't get a job. Like it doesn't matter how well you studied, it's pure luck, because we have dismantled the whole sort of system. So some is about that. And like the title track of the album, Empathy Lost, was me sort of thinking about how some people, like in my parents' generation, some say that, oh, I was a lefty when I was young and then I grew up. And I'm like, what do you mean grew up? How do you have a view of like everyone has an equal value, and then you grew out of that? It doesn't make sense, at least to me. And my reflection on it is maybe that it takes a lot of effort and energy to stay up to date with the world, and having to judge every person and situation like from what it is and with facts. You can't just dismiss as like, oh, it's all those people who are all the same. You have to like, oh, but this person that I don't know, I need to like it. I can't just say, oh, it's from this place of the world, or it's from this religion or whatever it is, like, and just dismiss it as they are all the same. And maybe at some point you get too tired to like you give up, like, oh, it's easier, my life gets easier if I don't have to put in all of this effort, so I'm gonna quit fighting for what I believe is right because I don't have the energy anymore. And to me, like the empathy of having to try to make the world a better place, sometimes people just like they get old and they give up on that, which is sad, but I think that might be the truth for a lot of people.
A better word. Excuse me, I forget to present to you. Um, could you uh, present each one? What do you do in the band, please?
Yeah.
I'm Victor, I'm the drummer.
Yeah. And I'm Patrick, and I play bass and end up do most of the songwriting.
Excellent.
And
Yeah.
He's a teacher.
The art, and on this album I
A recent
took on
album?
way. too many roles. This album, I wrote most of the music and some of the lyrics and the recorded bass and one of the guitars, and then I did the mixing and the artwork. So next time I will not do as many things because I got really fucking sick of it by the end. Maybe not next time.
Excuse me, in parentheses, is there a H3N2 epidemic? Do you know?
What?
A flu called H3N2. Like the first pandemic, was H1N1.
Oh, so you mean like a new strain of the COVID virus?
Because I received recently news about a new, not pandemic, but epidemic called H3N2. Not the first time is a periodic flu.
Yeah.
But I want to know if is there.
I mean, since the climate in Sweden in general is colder and our winters are very cold and dry, we always have the sort of the flu season around this time. So, and I through my job got like just in the past few days got offered to have a vaccine for just a seasonal flu. And I mean, now after COVID, it's sort of, I guess that's the mutations of that virus, I think will be just another flu like that goes around every year and mutates and it comes back. And like this time of the year when it's colder and the air is much drier, it's easier to spread viruses. And a lot of people are packed together in tight spaces since it's cold. So, I mean, I haven't heard of that specific one, but it is like, yeah, it's a seasonal thing here to some extent with the flu. And our guitarist, Johan, he's working at the local ER at the biggest hospital in Gothenburg. He works night shifts there, so he has first-hand experience with all of the COVID, the viruses that comes and goes around. So,
but it's usual.
You will tell us.
But it's usually in cold seasons. There.
yeah, I'm sure it can happen during summers too, but it's spreading here a lot more in the winter. So in the cold seasons, and I mean, I don't know if it would be different if it wasn't like, because Victor grew up in Spain, so I don't know, was it any different there or was it like any special season for?
I mean, they also had every year they wanted to give older people the flu shot just in case.
Yeah, and that's pretty common here too. My parents are they are in their 60s now, I think. So I think they get offered like when you're over 65 or something, you get offered to have a shot since you're more in the risk zone of if you get bad enough, you can be like hospitalized and stuff. So yeah.
We know that all Sweden is in with a lot of metal bands, very but what do you think the local scene have to change for be a better scene?
I mean, the way that I viewed our local scene in metal and extreme music and stuff in general is there are fewer venues to play. I mean, there are some new ones, but I feel like it's a lot more closing down than new ones opening up. And uh, there is, unless it's specific bands that tend to always draw a big crowd, you always have the issue of having people showing up. And we have talked a lot about it because I'm sort of my OCD brain want to understand something, so I sort of obsess over them. And I like people say, "Oh, you just go to Germany. You can get like on a Tuesday, you can."
Every day we hit kids with gunshot wounds directly to the head. They are purposefully killing kids and shooting them in the head on a daily basis.
Tuesday you can get a full packed house, and like, why can't we do that here? And one theory is like in Gothenburg in general, maybe we have been in the past maybe spoiled of, well, we have all these great metal bands locally, and so people got used to that, and now they don't want to show up unless it's their favorite band or something. I don't know. Or it's just that we don't have enough people interested in metal here anymore. And like, you have Germany, if you have a town in Germany that has a population that's 10 times what we have, then like if you had the same percentage, like, oh, 5% of people like metal, yeah, well, 5% of people, if that's 50 people here or 500 over there, then they will fill a venue much easier, even if it's like low attendance, or I don't know, and or if it's culturally more common that you can go out and do things on a Wednesday or a Tuesday. Like here, it's like, oh, it's not on a Friday late, or it's not on a Sunday, Saturday, then I won't go. Like, oh, it's on a Sunday, but I work on a Monday, so I won't go. Like, that's sort of the most, trying to get people to come unless it's really convenient for them is very hard. And if you don't have enough people to pick from, then it's, yeah, getting people to come, having better venues, and not having the fucking Live Nation take over everything, because they want to. Oh, it's, you will have Iron Maiden and Metallica, and you can have nothing else. Like, sure, great, but I want to be able to attend small shows as well.
And also going out in general is more expensive now.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm.
Gothenburg is expensive. Like, just going out and getting a beer is expensive in Gothenburg, even compared to other cities in Sweden. But yeah, now with our current economy and wages and everything, it's like, it's getting more expensive, and putting on shows is getting more expensive. And bands, like, as a band, you don't really make any money, but even so, the staff at the venue need to get paid, and like, there's not enough money, and everything's expensive now, so it's harder. Hopefully it will sort of swing back and change eventually, but yeah, there are a lot of small factors, small things that can get better, like more people attending, but if you can't force it for people to come, so I don't know what to do about it. Maybe it just has to be trendy, like in the 90s again. Like, you, if you were a grind and death metal band in the 90s, you could probably draw a bigger crowd than you can today. But I don't know.
Let me share my screen. My friends, we are watching the Brainwasher social media. This is for Facebook. It's easy and free for you to play in local festivals.
We have played a few. Let's see. We have played a few minor festivals. One big punk festival that I think is sort of canceled now after a few years. And I mean, getting local shows, unless we are busy. I mean, people in the band have families, and like, we all have jobs and stuff. But getting a show isn't very hard. But getting, I don't know, shows outside of Gothenburg, we haven't tried very hard, and it's something that we probably will try harder now, in the sort of, now that the album is out, we can look around for
Bigger shows.
yeah, bigger shows, and shows that are like in other cities and stuff. We played this summer. We played a small punk festival in the very central of Sweden, and was like a 10-hour drive or something, and that was really fun. But I mean, and that's also, I guess, a problem with Sweden. It's a large country, so getting used to, let's say, Stockholm, the second biggest city, it takes, I would say, 5 or 6 hours by car, maybe. And so someone like the booker will have to pay gas money, or at least, or like, our sort of bare minimum for it to work out is, if it's local, then yeah, give us some food and we will be fine, and let us be able to sell some merch. If it's further away, then we will need the gas money and hopefully somewhere to sleep. Otherwise, it's complicated. Like, we barely break even, so we can't like afford a bunch of like getting hotel rooms or something like that ourselves. It's just none of us earn enough for that to be an option. So,
You-
and yeah, we have declined some shows in the past, like two years maybe, because we were sort of more focused on trying to actually get the album finished and recorded and put out, and some just fell through because of scheduling and whatnot. So
Yeah. And usually, if you want to do shows far away, you need to have 3 or 4 shows in a bunch of cities over there, so it's worth the travel.
yeah, sort of you have to more make it a small tour, so you don't have to drive for a whole day to play one show and then drive a whole day back.
Out of your
So
country?
what?
A tour out of your country?
Yeah, I mean, the most of the people that I know that tour, I personally don't have any tour experience, but Joe, and the guitarist, has a lot of touring experience. And I mean, what he says is usually what most people in metal here says, and it's, if you want to tour, go down through Denmark and tour Germany and maybe France and maybe some Italian shows and stuff. But Germany, it's so much more packed with people that it's a lot easier to get booked. And like I said, if you have to play a show on a Tuesday, people will show up. If you put a show on a Tuesday in Gothenburg, if you're unlucky, there will be 10 people. So, and like in Germany, it's a smaller country with a bigger population. We have a big country with a small population, and it's the more northern, further north you go,
There's people there are.
yeah. So if we had a someone asking us, oh, do you, in 2 weeks, would you like to play in Umeå? And that's the very northern part of Sweden. Like, okay, if you buy us plane tickets, like, sure, we couldn't anyway, because it's scheduling conflicts. But it's like, either you drive for 24 hours to get there, or maybe 2 days even it would take to drive there. I think the train takes about between 15 and 20 hours to get there. So either you have a plane ticket, and those are not cheap, or we will have to have some sort of tour or whatever just to be able to get there without making a huge loss, or the booker having to pay an insane amount just to get us there. So.
Okay, we need a short answer, please, in this question.
Mhm.
If you receive a message in your cell phone now, and it say you have only 5 minutes to go to a bunker because there was a nuclear explosion, what 3 releases do you carry with you to the bunker? For each one, please.
Vilka 3 skivor tog du med dig?
Jo, quick answer for me, as I have most of them on my phone.
It's the idea,
Quick,
it's the idea.
Let's say a favorite releases.
Only 3 CDs or tapes, I don't know. Or
World
vinyls.
Down for Enemy of Darkness, maybe.
And my taste is a bit different, so I would take the album 5 by the band Symphony X, Follow the Reaper by Children of Bodom,
Wow.
and Better Law by Halloween.
Yes. It's a few difficult.
I'm more into that kind of power metal.
Okay. Don't forget this platform. This program is for share all your news. Please don't forget about that. We are going to be expectation about your new releases or concert. Please let us know. We have to appreciate your work. We have to give my congratulations about your work, and please your last words.
Thank you very much for the congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, my friends. See you. Keep on making noise.
Yeah.
See you.
See
Please
you.
keep in touch.
Metal Talllán!